Thank you.
You guys ready? First, I'd just like to thank the fans for coming out and supporting us. It was a great crowd. They were loud, they had a lot of fun, and certainly helped our players, get ready and continue to play with a lot of energy. It was really fun seeing the ex-players back here that presented the awards at halftime. Some of those guys I haven't seen for a long time, so that was really a good time. I enjoyed that a lot. As far as the game went, I was happy with what I saw out there. Offensively, it was good to see Will in command of the offense. I liked the way he carried himself. I liked the way he took charge of the huddle. He looked comfortable in delivering the football, and for the most part, was very accurate with his throws. Defensively, I would have liked to see him shut the white offense down. But I'll tell you what, L.J. Scott was really running with the football. He was very, very impressive. And we know we need to continue to work at the safety spot. And we did handicap the defense a little bit by being pretty base and not allowing a lot of pressure situations or pressure calls. So, but I was happy with our spring. I think we're headed in the right direction, but we do have a long, long way to go.
Questions? The play of Michael Dyer, just talk about how he ran the ball.
He looked really quick, and he was seeing things. He was making good cuts. It was probably the first time I think that we've really seen him in spring 100%. And I was happy with the way he was seeing it, and the quickness and the ability to break tackles.
Are you seeing the confidence in the players that you want to see at this stage?
Yeah, I think they took the field confident, and I listened. That's the funnest thing for me, and being out there in the spring game is to try to listen to how they're talking to each other in the huddle, how the quarterback's running the show, and so I'm kind of out there trying to see all what's going on, and they were doing a good job of communicating. We've got some really good leaders out there, so I think they're doing a good job.
What can you say about this receiving corps? It's like Will had his choice out there.
That's fun to be able to do that. When you have a group of receivers that you can just read the defense and let the defense dictate where we deliver the ball, have confidence in all the guys out there, that's good for a quarterback, especially for a young quarterback. And I thought he did a good job. He missed one, early in I think it was in the second half. It might not have been early either, but he kind of forced the ball, threw it out of bounds over the top of Devontae's head, and we had the guy open down the middle, but he came back in the second half and hit him twice. So he learned as the game went on, and that's going to be important. He's going to have to learn as the game goes on September 1 and not make the same mistake twice.
Coach, Gerald Christian was very active in the pass game tonight. Can you talk about his progression a little bit?
Well, I've really liked the way he's practiced all spring long. We were sitting in the meeting yesterday, and we said, let's put a good get-it-to list to number 18, because I felt like the last scrimmage we didn't get the ball in his hands enough, and he's a real threat. He can catch the ball away from his body, he can elevate and make the catch, and be able to threaten the middle like he can is going to help our whole offense.
James made some big plays for you too.
Yeah, it's good to see him make some good plays, some good runs, except for the one where he didn't have enough quite juke and kind of got laid out. He's sitting back there, so we were standing back there going, "Ooh, that was a nice move." He tricked everybody because he just ran right into him.
Given the limitations on the defense, how much do you attach to what's over tonight?
We're going to certainly evaluate it. We're going to evaluate every position, every guy out there, and make sure that we really understand, why we didn't shut the offense down every time. So it'll certainly be evaluated, and then we'll, make some decisions based off of that. And we do understand that we need to get better.
If you had to identify one area that impressed you the most about Will's playing quarterback tonight?
I think the way he distributed the ball, the way he, read the defense and distributed the ball and went through his progressions. It's probably as good a job as he's done going through his progression, and all the way down to the last pass where he threw the ball out in the flat to LJ, because he wanted to throw that ball on the option route to Eli, but the defense didn't let him, and he dumped it off, so it was a nice job.
In an offense like yours, how big is it to have an
explosive playmaker like James?
Well, it's good to have a bunch of them. I'm telling you what, I'm excited about the playmakers that we have. We just got to continue to, get better up front, continue to get better at the quarterback play, making sure that these playmakers understand that when their number's not called and they're not getting the ball, that they give us 100% on that play so somebody else can make a big play. And I think we've gotten better at that as springs went on.
Did you install as much as you hoped to install during spring?
We did, yeah. We went through the installation, we threw it all at them. There was a point where they were swimming, particularly at quarterback. But that's our philosophy, and you fight through it, and then you come back and install it again. We start to get it a little bit more. Now, I'll expect in August when we go through the installation that we're on top of it.
One more for Coach.
You've been watching Will all spring. Did he show you something more with the lights on tonight and the people in the stands?
He's done that throughout the time I've been here, starting in the weight room when we had testing week. And he went out there and, lit it up in the testing week, and his lifts and in his run and everything he did, he excelled. So, yeah, he did show me. He really was focused. He really was in command. And, you couldn't leave a spring game more happy than the way he played, except for the pick.
All right, that's good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Will?